Hello and welcome to a new segment on 4X Overland. Every month at this time, the last Sunday of every month, I'm going to be sharing with you lessons that I have learned over the last 3 decades of making my adventure travel show. Welcome to 4X Overland's weekly adventure storytelling and filmmaking report. Join me at beafilmmaker.com for more. First one up now, something that I actually shot in 2018, and it's all about being ready, because adventure travel, when you're moving and traveling or getting on a plane, getting out of a plane, onto a train, into a car, suddenly something happens that you realize, hey, this is a moment that I need to capture. Here was one such situation with me. I wasn't actually that well prepared for it. It just started happening and cameras were rolling. I grabbed the nearest camera to me and I captured a nice, simple little piece of content because of quick thinking and editing in my head. I'd like to show you something here. This is a piece of footage photographed with my dash cam. And what it captured is me filming a little sequence. Now what happened was, it was late in the afternoon and we were driving, I was on my own, and the sun had gone down. It was kind of the end of filming and I was now looking for a place to camp, and suddenly in front of me I realized, hang on a minute, that's a railway crossing, the lights are flashing, which means there's a train coming. And I wanted to photograph the train, but there was no time to set up any cameras. So I grabbed on the passenger seat the camera closest to me, which was a Sony mirrorless camera with a very, very basic microphone on it and with a wide angle lens. So not ideal, but there was no time for me to set up my other camera and put on the lens of choice, which wouldn't have been that one. I also would have got my better low light camera. But the things were happening. If I had done that, I would have missed the train. So I grabbed the camera and ran and started getting shots. And I created a very short little sequence. And it was, of course, very important for me to gather good sound and to try and get some ambience. This video is to help you when you are in a situation where you are confronted with something happening and you need to film it. If you just stand in one point and you just film what's going on, it's very difficult to edit, isn't it? Because it'll feel jumpy. You will then have to include the entire event. A train going by, it was a very long train. It was probably 2 minutes or so of the train going by. So if I just filmed it with a static camera, it would have been quite dull. Or I could have just had one shot in my video. But I didn't want that. I wanted to capture the ambience of the train. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to show you the footage, and I'm going to do a narrative commentary over the footage to tell you how my mind was working. So you can actually see what I'm doing using the dash cam footage and the actual footage captured by the camera, and how the many shots that I had gathered at that in those very few minutes made quite a nice little sequence. So here, driving, beautiful light, some static shots through the windscreen. I'm using the same camera. Here, a shot of me driving, different perspective, one from low down, one from the side, one from outside, 3/4 front, and you can see a train. I didn't know that I was going to see the train, but luckily I got that shot. Shot of the train moving, gentle pan from right to left, holding it for about 4 seconds at the end of the shot. And then I'm running towards the train. I want to get a close-up of that light. I'm holding it still for about 4 or 5 seconds. Remember, I've only got a wide-angle lens to work with here. So I'm thinking on my feet. Low down, get nice and low down. Nice composition with the road markers and the poles in the sky and the light in the sky. Again, now I'm not turning the camera off, I'm just letting it run. Again, static, holding it still for 4 seconds. I'm not turning off the camera also because I want to record the sound. Maybe he hoots the horn again and I'm not running. So there again, using the 4-second rule, holding the camera absolutely still, no movement at all for at least 4 seconds. Same shot, slightly wider. So I'm getting variation in my shots, which enables me in the edit suite to pick and choose the way I want to assemble it together. I'm battling at this moment, I'm looking for new stuff. So again, a little bit closer to the train, holding it static again for 3 or 4 seconds. And I'm thinking to myself, what else is there? What else can I do? Okay, another really low angle. I love that angle, that low angle with those signs stretching into the sky. I'm trying to hold the camera still. And there's the end of the train, and I see the end of the train, and I let the train, I thought it was going to leave frame there. So here is the sequence that I built up from those shots. A long train, but nothing, I have to say, nothing compared to the length of the trains that I've seen in the US. Night driving long distance is not something I particularly enjoy. I tried, but failed to reach a small game reserve where I knew there would be camping. So instead, I just pulled over and found a spot in the bush. I hope you enjoyed that. If you want to make sure that you catch them every week, I have lots more to share with you. Subscribe. On Beafilmmaker.com, it's actually been a big month for us because I launched a course that I've been working on for over 9 months. My idea was that for a still photographer to move over to video filmmaking is a giant leap. It might not seem such a big leap because there are quite a few things that are quite obvious that are, they share similarities, but there is so much. I mean, think about it. A still photographer is using, one image to try and evoke an emotion. Just an image, nothing else. No sound, no time. There's so few ways to invoke emotion out of a still photograph. And that's why, somebody looking at a still photograph might look at it for 10 seconds. A long time would be 10 seconds. A film can be any length. You have to sustain that emotion, that engagement with your audience over a period of time. And you do it not just with images, you do it with sound. In fact, in many respects, sound is more important than images. That course is now available, and it's on special because I've just launched it, and it's available, and it's on Beafilmmaker.com. The link is in the description. My name is St Pierre White. I'm a global adventure travel and documentary filmmaker. Subscribe now to Be a Filmmaker as I share my hard-learned lessons in storytelling and video filmmaking.